Yo, what is going on, everybody? This is Brandon.
It's Michael.
Stefan.
Welcome back to Comics Kings. Welcome back to the Kingdom. I did not know which order y'all were going to go in, so I was like, hoping y'all would figure it out. Good work, guys. All right, guys, so this is Archives. Drops every Friday, 1 o'clock, or at least it tries to come out every Friday, 1 o'clock. This one I know will, because I'm taking care of it the night of. Look at me go. But with the impending Disney Plus show, you guys, I'm super excited to talk about Hawkeye by Matt Fraction, David Aja. Eisner winning series, you guys. Multiple Eisners, I think, this got. So I'm really excited to talk about it. Did I just freeze?
No.
No, you're good. Go. Keep rolling.
Okay, I thought I froze. But multiple Eisners. This book is absolutely phenomenal. I'm super excited for the show. What are you guys expecting with that?
Steph?
In terms of what the storyline's going to go, the influence it's going to take, or
Like, just what are you excited to see?
everything. I really do enjoy the dynamic that Fraction established between Kate and Clint with his series. I see a lot of that happening in the show. The fact that it's Christmas themed, I just like the idea, the theme of Christmas. I like those types of movies when there's like a backdrop for Christmas, but it's not necessarily Christmas oriented.
Right.
To really just to see more Hawkeye, this will be his time to really shine. If you think about it, like he's always kind of had leftover pieces in the Marvel movies. We'll actually get to see him be Clint, so I'm excited about that. And Echo, Maya Lopez,
Right,
and Lucky
100%, 100%. And Lucky the dog, 100%. I'm excited. I want to make a drinking game where every time you hear the word "bro," I want to take a shot.
Seriously though, that better be in it a little bit.
Yo, bro, seriously, bro.
No, I like that. I'm very excited for the dynamic, of course, between Clint and Kate. I think what Fraction, there's just like this one big panel towards the beginning of it too, where he's just explaining, like, Kate's like, why me, and right. we'll get into that, but like I think that explains it perfectly. So when we get into that, it's gonna be great.
Right. So let's kind of talk about what this book's about. So we're in the era of Marvel where the Young Avengers just hit. With the Avengers are still disassembled and they're kind of coming back. They're still underground at this point. This book came out in 2007. So it's during the time
2012.
12?
Yeah.
2012? I'm sorry. The Marvel Presents was 2007. Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. The Marvel Presents came out in 2007. So that's kind of where mine was. And in this trade that I have, that was the first issue that we are going to actually talk about. Because that's kind of what this book spins out of, or chronologically, that's how you would read it. You would start with Young Avengers Presents number 6, and then you would go into Fraction number 1, and then so on and so forth. I got the complete collection. It was available at EuroCS a few weeks ago. I know this collects mostly what the Omnibus did. So if you guys missed that Omnibus, which I bought for a friend, read it before I gave him, so I'm missing that oversized. I get it, but
you're a good friend.
Very much so.
I am a very good friend. This is the saga of Clint Barton and Kate Bishop, how he grooms her to be the next Hawkeye, how they work together. And how they really just grow their relationship. We learned a lot about Hawkeye, who is just the Avenger. He's the poster boy to torture, to show a lot of depression about, because he doesn't have any powers, right?
Yeah. No, I thought it was great. Yeah, I was talking to Steph before the show in our warm up a little bit, where I think this is taking this really threw Clint into the spotlight of from one of the most underrated, underused, undercared about Avengers to one of the most human, relatable, and favorite Avengers to a lot of people.
Absolutely.
Right, 100%. And even in the MCU, we really have not captured the true emotion of Hawkeye. We've seen that he's a very emotional character. He's very impulsive, but he's also very observant of everything.
Very loyal. Yeah.
He's a very loyal person. Great way to put it, Stefan. So I'm really excited to jump into it. Of course, as I mentioned earlier, we start with Young Avengers number 6. This is, I believe, still by the creative team of Jim Shang and Alan Heinberg doing this issue leading into it. So we have Eli and we have Kate going out on a date. Eli tries to do everything up all cute. and they're not really having a good time, or at least Kate's not exactly having a good time, right? So Eli is basically trying to be smooth, and she's like, yeah, we shouldn't date. We're not doing this. She's like, we're not doing this for the sake of the team. And he was like, yeah, of course, the team. Then all of a sudden he's like, no, F the team. I want to do this. And then she's like, bro?
Sorry, who's the artist on the Presents?
I think it's Heinberg. I don't know. It doesn't say in the trade. It might be Heinberg.
No, because I know it's Fraction. That was like
the writer. Huh?
Heinberg, it was the creator of the Young Avengers, but the Presents was one shots. Yeah, that was Fraction's first catalyst for or the first
Fraction. Yeah. I don't know who the artist doesn't say it here, which is really weird. But anyway, Ronan tips over the chariot that they're in with the horse in front. As we know now, Ronan is Hawkeye at this point. So this takes place after New Avengers 13 and before 27, right? Because that's when we found out that Echo was taking up the mantle, which we're going to see eventually in this show. But so that's the whole premise in Young Avengers. Captain America presumed Hawkeye to be dead, gave the bow to Kate. So that theme is picked up here when Hawkeye comes back and says, you know what, you need lessons, show up here, do this. And she shows up and it's Hawkeye, and he's like, and at the headquarters of the Avengers, this is how their relationship starts. And they start just by shooting arrows. And Hawkeye is introducing her, Ronan, Clint Barton is introducing her to this trick shot that she never knew was possible. So she kind of like gave up on herself a little bit, but then she found a light or a drive to get better.
Yep.
And of course, Wiccan is there, like in the background, being like invisible backup because she didn't know what she was getting herself into. She knew who Luke Cage was, so like she comes, she's like, "Hey, what's up, Luke? What's up, homie?" He's like playing video games with Spider-Man, and they're having just the time of their life.
I think that's a really great thing about the Hawkeyes, both Clint and Kate, is all the other kind of Marvel heroes, right? They have to try hard, sure, right? And they'll train for a second and to overcome with their superpower or whatever their tech that they have, but like Tony. But like they always have something to fall back on like that. Clint literally has nothing else. Kate literally has nothing else when it comes to these big like terrorizing threats that they have. Like they literally are fighting for their lives and they keep rushing in. They represent the everyman kind of thing, and that if you keep trying, you can do it. Look, we don't have any powers, we don't have any real like advanced skills here. Like we know what we're doing, but like we're still human. So I like that about the
right. So they kind of use that to their advantage. There's a bet going on whether or not Hawkeye can make this said trick shot, which is like shooting 3 arrows and like kind of like splitting it. Yep. And then they bet the bow. They bet if Hawkeye can do it, he gets the bow back. Kate loses the bow. And she has to go back to the Young Avengers, and Eli's like giving her shit because he's already down bad. This guy's down horrendous, if that's a word. But
yeah,
he is horribly butthurt that she friend zoned him.
I mean, they are the Young Avengers. So
they are the Young Avengers, so they are acting like a little bit of teenagers. And Eli's just not holding back. He's just calling her out. And she's just like not having it, right? So she's like, no wonder I didn't want to be with you anyway. And he's butthurt. Speed comes in. Kate's like, you know what? I'm not gonna have boy job. I'm gonna have boy job. This is what we gonna do. She takes Speed out on a date, and right in front of Eli, she like asks him out. Or like Tommy's like, we should date, and she's like goes along with it, knowing that Eli is right there over the shoulder. Now, I don't really like Eli's character a whole lot, but I feel for him in this situation because I've been there. I get it, bro. But come on now, this is your girl.
Teen angst to the max, man.
Oh my gosh, bro. But they go out and they start drinking. I guess. Buzz. Everything was buzzed. And then yeah. So Tommy and Kate decide, yeah, we buzzed as hell. Let's go get the bow back. Right? So they break into the Avengers mansion.
As one does, you know.
As one does. And they kiss up the elevator, which I was like, okay, cool. Go for it.
Romantic.
And they like leave kind of little hints that like they were there. Like they were very rookie about it, like kind of moving evidence. So when Hawkeye comes in with Luke Cage, he knows. And he's like, this girl got some balls, because he was already talking about her and how he wanted to groom her, like he didn't want to discourage her. So kind of like I said, she's hiding in the bushes. Hawkeye knows. He's like, she really got the balls to do this and stick around. I'm gonna let her I'll let her have this one.
Respect.
Yeah, he's like, I'll put some respect on your name. And then she's practicing, and he comes up, and he's like, Kate, and she doinks it, right? Kind of like what's his name? The kicker for the Bears. There was the doink. Come on. Oh, what's his Cody Parker. Yeah, Cody Parkey with the double doink.
Sure.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah, sports ball, kicker, football. This was we were playing golf ball the other day. You know, we punted from the 30-yard line and it hit the upright.
Yeah.
So basically, Hawkeye was rewarding Kate for breaking and entering, which was really, really funny. She goes back to Eli and she kisses him. She's like, just be patient with me. And he's like, okay, we never hear from that relationship ever again. So I'm just like, after all that, cool. But
let me side note this real quick because that confused me. All right, so I had kind of taken a break when Kieran Gillian was on doing the second arc of Young Avengers, second volume, whatever, and with Jamie McKelvey. And in that, she's dating Novar, Marvel Boy, whatever. And him and Tommy look just alike. So when I came back to that series, I was like, oh, her and Tommy are still together. Until I found out it was Novar, but it was just weird that she's got a thing for guys with white hair or bald guys.
Or bald
Eli.
Guys.
I thought you were just okay, never mind. I have to think of something else. All right, so we open up issue 1 with we get an art change. David Aja's art is very, how do I put it? Very basic. He's a very basic level. It's not really layered, but everything is there. And his storytelling, because of its simplicity, allows him to weave in between panels and make these creative layouts that no other artist can get away with. You look at people like Jorge Fornes, right? You look at people like, I would even go as far to say Nick Darrington today. David Aja is definitely a big inspiration for some of those other artists you see kind of going up with those more dry, grotesque panel layouts. So Hawkeye swinging, right? Obviously he's struggling because he's Hawkeye. He has to struggle because he's the only human person. Depression is hitting this guy hard. He's trying to swing, right? Kind of like Spider-Man, but his bow is like extension. I'm gonna call it an extension cord. Sorry, but it breaks. So he falls and gets hurt. So this guy is in the hospital and he's fractured, banged up, this, that, and the other, and he's in a wheelchair. We then flip to a futuristic part of the story, which is going to happen. So these two different narratives, right? One being post-hospital, the other one being like after all the events occurred, in between his ability to get out of the hospital and his ability to walk again, kind of transposed. So there's a dog on the counter, right? Looks injured, and Hawkeye wants the dog to live. So he's like, just fix this dog, right? It's not his dog, and he says it, right? So we flip back again, and we see Hawkeye kicking his wheelchair into traffic, and this taxi cab guy's just like being really bad. He's like, yeah, sorry about the chair, just like bill me. He gets in the taxi and then gets out because he's in a lot of traffic. And he goes back into his apartment and he sees people just kind of getting kicked out, right? So he goes up to the guy. He's a Russian mobster. There are a lot of Russian mobsters in there. And this is where the dialogue is so thoughtful in this book. I absolutely love the dialogue. So Clint, being the good Samaritan he is, he's like, yeah, so what's going on? This guy's like, bro, don't matter. I was going to sell the place, bro, get more money for myself. Clint's like, well, what if I just like paid everyone's rent? He's like, no, bro. And then so he ends up like helping this family, gets left there. We flip back to the veterinarian scene and the doctor comes out and he's like, we need to talk about the dog. Clint's like, he's not my dog. And he's like, you got to take care of this dog. We still don't know why. And he's so insistent on, you have to fix this dog. And that's basically the whole course of that page.
Well, yeah, the vet had said, like, we can try to save him, but, he may have, it might be expensive. His quality of life after this might have been Clint's like, I don't want to hear it. Just save the dog, man. Just do what you got to do. Save the dog. Money's no issue.
Right.
But yeah, I thought that was a cool little bit.
So we don't know why the dog is so important to Clint at this point and why he's not claiming it to be his. We're going to find that out, but we don't right now. We go to this rooftop scene. We kind of flash back a little bit. We get to know a lot of the other tenants in there and kind of how Clint interacts. This is, like Michael said earlier, a very humanizing moment for Clint because this is his ability to interact with other people. I think what really separates your Captain America, your Iron Man, your Thors is they can't have human interactions that people like Hawkeye can, or like Spider-Woman, or even Mockingbird. Your grittier Avengers.
Totally, Brendan. That's a fantastic point because I think later on in the series too, like Clint even mentioned, he's like, if you're ever around Captain America, like he makes you want to be the best you can be. But like that's not human. Like no one's going to be that 100% of the time. Right. And Captain America makes you want to do that. Like that's Captain America. So like he's the only like human you can interact with anybody. So that's the only one you can really connect with. And that's what I was saying in the beginning. Like this makes you connect with him. I love it.
Right. And it makes you connect with like, okay, like this is a story that I can gravitate to. There's someone who's struggling. Not financially, but he's struggling with himself and his obstacles of being human, right?
It's the constant struggle. That's the thing too. It's the constant struggle. Every single thing can go wrong, and it does. He finds a way around it, but after he turns, he's like, okay, cool, I got around that. Here's 2 more struggles you have to deal with, like life.
Right, but like what's like kind of stands out is right now he's living alone. And he's making time to take care of the other tenants, his neighbors, right? He's taking care of this dog. He's trying to regain his ability to walk, right? And I kind of know a thing or two about kind of trying to regain your ability to walk. I've been doing that for the better part of 4 years now. So I kind of understand you just got to keep going through it, right? Nothing's going to fix your pain. You just got to make sure that you're constantly not letting it take over your life. And Clint does a very good job at keep pushing forward no matter the odds, right? You may call it luck, but a good part of Clint is his determination that causes his good luck.
Completely agree.
That. So anyway, we flip back to the scene and we see the mobsters again outside of this Chinese restaurant. They're like, "Yo, what you doing here, bro?" Even I know I'm giving them a New York accent. They're Russian.
Yeah, they're Russian. So like, what are you doing here, bro?
What are you doing here, bro? Like, wow. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. Never.
Tracksuit Mafia. It's true.
Tracksuit Mafia. There we go. We're going to see them. And so Hawkeye says the dog, can I pet it? And they're like, yeah, no, he bites. He's like, yeah, no, he likes pizza. Right. So, Hawkeye shows up with the bag of cash for the guy. He brings it in and he just drops it down. And that's when we see the guy in charge. That it's his plan to sell the building, and Hawkeye's he's like, I don't care. But there's a fight breaks out. I'm sorry, Link?
No. I was just gonna say, there's a reason why they don't want to sell the bill or take his money for the building. Is but we'll get into that.
Yeah. So he wanted to sell the building, make the money, and live off that. And the other people that he was screwing over really was not his priority. He really could not care less because he's trying to use that money to do big, bad things that we're going to learn about in the next few issues. So anyway, Clint gets into this fight. He gets knocked out and he wakes up. Well, and then we see him, we gets hit in the head with the glass. Then we see him waking up at the vet. And the guy comes in and into the vet, grabs him and throws him. And then he's like, oh, get that bro. And then so like they shoot him. Hawkeye sees the gunshot, so he braces, tries to move himself out of the way, and then the dog comes in. Now this part gets I wouldn't say it gets sad for like dog lovers because I am a dog lover and I was sad, but I wasn't like distraught because I was like really rooting for the dog. But Clint gets shot, so he's slowed down. He's trying to run away, get a better angle, and the dog comes in and starts biting this guy's arm off, giving Clint the good diversion to get in there. The dog gets kicked in the face and thrown into traffic for the dog to unfortunately get hit by the car. And we don't see the exact like dog getting hit, we just see a roof in the headlights, and I'm sorry, but like that's what really gravitated me to the book. Anytime like you put a dog in that situation, I was like all in.
Yeah, totally.
So we cut back to the scene, and Hawkeye's like, he sees them, and he's like, yeah, no, we're not doing this. He's like, I'm an Avenger, and this one guy's like, are you Iron Fist or something?
Yes, one of my favorite parts.
and then because usually the Avengers don't look after the common folk, like they look after a great number of people. Don't get me wrong, right? The Avengers are Earth's mightiest heroes, but they're not necessarily Earth's best heroes, simply because of the demographic that they fail to represent. Because they're
that's a really good way to put it. Yeah, that's
mass majority.
Right. So
that's why you have characters.
The smaller things. Right. Get lost.
That's why you have
the Avengers are the macro, and now we're seeing them in the micro scale of being inside the like very similar to like Daredevil. Daredevil is like one section. He's Hell Kitchen, right? And Daredevil does that a lot too, because Avenger, he's always been asked like, hey, do you want to be an Avenger? No, this is what I'm focusing here. This is what I'm doing. Like, you guys handle the big. I got the small.
Right. Yep. And so the Russian mobster, the track suit,
the bro dude,
the
chief bro. He says, he's like, yeah. So what kind of Avenger are you? And he's like, well, I'm not Captain America. Captain America. He's like, Captain America would want me to be the best person I can meet. Kind of what you alluded to earlier, Steph. And he's like, well, Captain America isn't here, is he? And just slams the door back in his face, and he goes back for the dog, and the collar's like, oh, his name's Arrow, and Hawkeye's like, yeah, no, we're gonna come up with something better. And
I love that scene, because he's just like, once he finds out the dog's name is Arrow, he's like, no.
He's trying so hard to make this not his dog, and life just won't let that happen. So there you go.
Right. So anyway, the next issue, we really get introduced to Kate and Hawkeye. This is really the first time we see them together in the series. And Hawkeye and Kate are just like, they're chilling, I guess. Right now, they're practicing. And Hawkeye, they're just like going through their basic exercises because they don't have powers. They have to stay refining their techniques. So, because that's all they have, right? Kind of what you said earlier. And how can they do this? Is they can be a little quippy, right? They learn about stuff that's going on with the Russian mobsters and everything in that nature. So they attend this hotel circus going on, right? Because they know that some funny stuff is about to happen. So we get there and we see, now this part was a little confusing. I'm gonna do my best to break it down. You have one group of mobsters stealing from bad people. Okay, so this is a bunch of bad people are getting together to celebrate being bad, but the people that they're getting paid to celebrate the badness with, the actual entertainment crew, they're trying to screw over the bad people by being even worse. Got it? Good.
Evil pays evil.
Evil pays evil, and evil will always out evil. Wow, that
was great. That was perfect. That was perfect explanation.
And so you have like Hammerhead out there. You got Madam Mask. You got Fisk. You got a few other people. You got owls. You got the owl in there. And then you have this magician. And this is actually Swordsman. Okay, so Swordsman and Hawkeye learn from the same person. Okay, they have the same teacher. So that was pretty thoughtful in how Fraction was able to do this. Swordsman and his henchmen are trying to steal from these guys. Obviously, Hawkeye and Kate see through that. So they try to fight that. And then we just get a bunch of action scenes going forward from here on out. And they're just going all the way through this hotel, fighting these guys and trying to get them from stealing the money, right? From these mobsters from the bad guys who are trying to use the money to obviously do very bad things. We know what Madam Mask would use the money for. We know what Kingpin would use the money for. We don't know why Swordsman's using the money, but he's saying that he's trying to right these wrongs of these other people. But anyway, we learned about the boomerang arrow.
Boomerang arrow.
Why would you ever need a boomerang arrow?
Right.
I know.
So a cool thing about Hawkeye is he's quippy, right? So he has a bunch of different arrows, different things. We've seen that in the MCU with sort of like his grenade arrows and all that. So he uses a boomerang arrow to take down swordsman because he misses, right? Slits his mustache and it bounces back, right?
Wait for it. There it is.
Oh yeah, there it is. And then Kingpin kind of holds this town hall meeting, and he's like, you know what? These guys, Clint Barton just stole from us.
That's never good.
Yeah, and then Clint and Kate have this little post operation.
Yeah, I love this. I love this panel. I love this page.
Right, this whole page is just absolutely freaking gorgeous, and their dialogue is so simple. The way this book is formatted, it follows, I guess, the quippiness of these characters. There's something about this book that is just an experience to read it. Mm-hmm. Not because it's difficult at all to read, but it's like a puzzle.
That's a good
It's great. Yeah, this one page, you get the importance of both. Like what Clint is trying to do, what he wants to do, and he's trying to express that the only way he really knows how. And then you have Kate trying to understand her relevance in this whole situation. Why she's even here? How could she even live up to things? Because she keeps naming a bunch of different heroes. She's like, you have better friends than me. What are you doing? And
so they're talking on the phone, and she's like, yeah, so why are you coming to me? Like, what is this, dude? And she's like, Cap is good, Spider-Man's good, why me? Clint's like, you're smart. She's like, so is Iron Man, everyone else at your day job, why me? He's like, well, you got money. Well, Clint has money too. He's like, but I don't want to sleep with you.
Yeah.
So that's.
And she's like, well, good. You're old enough to know how creepy that would be. Does this mean you want to sleep with Spider-Man? He's like, no, because that always screws it up. It always screws it up. I always screw it up, which that alludes to his other wives. For some reason, every like attractive male Marvel character is like a playmaker. Like you got like Doctor Strange, you got Matt Murdock, you got Clint. You had Peter Parker for a pretty long time, was a playmaker after MJ. Black Cat, Silver Sable, come on now.
But they were appealed to Spider-Man first, and
1982 was a very 1982 to 85 were very rough years for Peter Parker.
Yeah, but Peter Parker is a serial relationship guy. Like he needs to be that's just kind of, it's very similar. It's more socially acceptable for him because he's in a relationship. So it's very similar.
Right. And it's funny because like Kate gets very emo vibes sometimes. She's like, you're an idiot, dude. She's like, but she's also like a homie. Like Kate is such a cool. I feel like we all need like a Kate Bishop in our lives. Like we all need that friend. She's like so cool. She's like so chill about everything. She's like, oh yeah, you don't want to see me great. Like I get you do, but you don't. Like, bro, you good?
Bro.
Like I feel like Kate Bishop is the kind of person like I can just call bro and she'd be okay. And there are a lot of bros in here, trust me.
She is
bro worthy. And then Clint hangs up the phone and he's like, yeah, this crime scene needs work. And then we see Lucky lay down. He's like, good boy, Lucky. And that's kind of where we got the name drop. We got it at the end of issue 1 in the title, but this is where he actually uses it in context. Moving on to issue 3. By the way, you guys, we're only talking about the first 5 issues. Maybe we'll talk about more if you guys like this one. So make sure you guys hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you're new, all that good stuff. If you made it 30 minutes into the show, you're doing it right. We appreciate you guys. Make sure you comment down below your thoughts on this book, what you're most excited about for the Hawkeye show. Check out everything in the description below. We'll have the first trade online, or if you want the complete collection, that's also available as well. Make sure you guys order it either through Amazon or your local comic shop, preferably your local comic shop if they have it in stock. Help them out during these times of paper shortages and headaches from Diamond.
Yes.
So issue 3 is kind of where the story picks up, in my opinion. And
yes, this issue is great.
This is I think this is probably my favorite issue of this.
It's a very good one.
Clint is Clint's driving, or Kate's driving. In this car, in this red car, this red sports car. Clint's firing arrows. And this is like really, and every page, every issue starts like, okay, this looks bad, really, really bad.
That's what I'm saying. They finish one thing and 2 more problems could show up immediately. Yeah, there's always something wrong.
Right. And this looks bad, really, really bad. Car chase. and there's this girl tied up and has like masking tape over her. What do they use nowadays? Duct tape over their face? I don't know how to kidnap someone.
Yeah.
It's all the same.
I know. Not like anyone's over in my closet.
Anymore.
See, yeah, anymore. That's what I'm really doing. I'm keeping Hickman hostage until he has more X-Men to tell.
There you go.
Kidding. But he's like, it's only the third most terrible idea I've had, and I've had exactly 9 terrible ideas. I'm like, damn, bro, they're lying.
I like how you
go on.
No, I was gonna say throughout the rest of the issue, he's listing all the bad ideas.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Yeah, that's amazing. I love that part so much. Here's bad idea number 1. Here's number 2. We're counting down to the worst idea. I love it.
It's really funny to see like how Matt Fraction uses his dialogue, uses narration in the perspective of Hawkeye. This book is just great. This is like something completely different from comics, and it's just a joy to read. Really I don't usually geek out a book. I try to be as objective as possible. This book is absolutely a book that I can geek out about because I've never seen it done in comics like this before.
Absolutely. No, I think that's a great point. Steph, we were talking about this before. It feels like a very you made this point. It was a very indie book. Like it feels like a very independent book. It doesn't feel very Marvel-esque, which I love. I think there was a great break, especially what was going on in the Marvel universe at the time.
Right. So if you guys are ever intimidated about the way Marvel does things, which is in a very intimidating Marvel fashion, this is definitely not it. And that's why a lot of that's why Marvel has a lot of new writers for them right now.
But to speak on how Fraction uses dialogue, I don't remember what scene it was particular, but at one point the Russians were speaking, the bro guys, and he's just like, it's from Clint's perspective, so it's like a blurs out the dialogue, and it's just like he says something about it Russian, it could be something else. Right. Like you don't know what the guy's saying, but it's just Clint narrowing down like what his accent is. It was genius.
Right. So this is the issue where we get to know all the different arrows. I know we got a little hint of the boomerang arrow in the last one, but this is really where we get respect. Put some respect on the name. So
this is also the really good introduction to how Aja plays with like signage, like the visual meaning without actually like having like an identifier as like a person or a place or like a organic thing. Like the way he uses like signs and like generic like signage on there to tell a story as well. This is like kind of the start of it where we see like each picture of the arrow. And so I don't know. I like that.
Yeah, we get like a little head. Brilliant. We get like a little descriptive. Like, how do I put this? We see the tip of the arrow. Yeah.
There it is.
Take that in however G-rated or R-rated or whatever way you want to take it. But okay, I digress. We get to know the net arrow as they're packing up for this trip. We get to know the net arrow. What does the net arrow do, you may ask? Well, you shoot it and someone gets tied up in an
I love how Kate's not about these at all. Right. They're so opposite in this. Just keep the pointy ones. What do you need everything else?
Exactly. She's like, and he's like, oh, come on. You got to respect the net arrow.
One of the arrows he was just like,
here. And he's like this here, boomerang arrow, Kate. It comes back to you in the end. Boomerang. Respect it. She's like,
no, that's what it was. She's like, why do you need a boomerang arrow? He's like, because boomerang. Yeah.
Boomerang. It comes back.
He's like, but it comes back. Like, I mean, come on. I got no.
Oh, that's just so matter of fact. Like, I don't understand how you're not getting it. It comes back to you. It's great.
Yeah, exactly. So we flip back to the car chase. This book likes to tell 2 different stories, then mash them together at the end. So we see the car chase, and we see Clint using all of his arrows, and he's like, never should have left my arrows there. Hey, he like doesn't know which one's coming up. So we get to know the bola arrow. What does the bola do? Remember in Star Wars when like Jar Jar threw that thing and like got caught on like the droid's neck and like tied it down? That's it. Yeah, you like throw it around to like it almost like trips you. I guess it wraps around your legs.
In the animated series threw it a lot.
Yeah. Batman. Boba Fett did it.
Yeah. Yep.
Jango Fett did it. Whichever one didn't say in the first 2 minutes of the movie did it.
Yeah.
That was kind of both of them. Now that I think about it. I'm telling you, I digress. But and then Clint's calling out the shots. Like he's like, acid arrow. She's like, I'm driving. I don't know what this means. He's like, if you labeled everything,
I don't know.
Like, you should label these. And Clint's like, oh my gosh. So he's like, And he's like, maybe. And he's like, maybe I should. So he meets us. So we flash back a little bit. And he meets this. He sees this car. It's a very attractive car. You know, Clint kind of has his eye out, especially now that he has some dough on him. His eyes light up with dollar signs. And he sees this, and then he sees the girl packing up.
There it is. There's the thing.
And it's a 1970 Dodge Challenger. So that was kind of a sexy car to have back in those days. At least, Mike, okay, were they a sexy car to have back in those days?
Yes, they were.
Okay, cool.
Are they not now? Are they not now?
I don't know what the cool kids.
Whatever.
I don't know what the cool kids drive. I drive the Millennium Falcon. I'd make everything in less than 8 parsecs. Yeah,
that's fair. That's totally fair. That's good. That's good mileage.
Less than 12 parsecs. Yeah, exactly.
I like how when he first saw this car, though, she tried to hoe him, and she's like, "Yeah, maybe you'll one day you'll own one of these." He's like, "I can own one of them now. Like, I have money. Why do you not believe
She's
that?"
like, "Damn," and he's like, "All right, damn." He's like, "Wait, but is the car stolen?" He's like,
wait, hold on.
And he's like, "If you can buy me to buy some tape for my Arab labels, that would be very great." But so we get back up with the chase, and he sees we get the acid arrow, which has a nice round tip to it, by the way, you guys.
Yeah, it's true.
10 out of 10 on the tippage there.
Little subjective.
This is a very flashy arrow. So he puts the acid arrow. Obviously, what that does, it gets into the hood of the car, infected with acid. And this girl wakes up. He's like with the tape over. And then we see more cars incoming. We flash over to the scene where they are sleeping together.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They did do that. And so Clint thanks her for taking her for the office supplies. And then she's like, "Yeah, you got to take me to the airport. I got a flight to catch." And she's like, "I'm in some kind of trouble, but you can't ask me about it. But, ask no questions. I tell no lies." And these guys kick down the door, and it's none other than Tracksuit Mafia. And she goes, "No." And then Clint goes, "Oh, bro."
I really love this scene. That's you're talking about next. I won't go into details. I'll let you do that. But I think the scene I think when Matt Fraction was writing this, he had an idea for a movie or a live action show. And I think this would have been a great live action scene. They probably won't do it on Disney Plus. But it really just shows you how deadly Clint is at any times,
right.
Yeah.
This is where we get to the best panel.
It's one of the best.
So Clint's butt naked right now, guys, because he just had his fun. Whether or not he got blue balls, that's completely up to you. I'm rooting for the guy because you know what, he has a lot of bad stuff going for him. I hope he had a good time. But anyway. He's like, "Yeah, nope, I got to dive and get something." And he finds a lamp, and he's just using this lamp to go to town on everybody.
Yeah.
He does, too. He does. It's crazy.
And he's like, anything is a weapon if you're in deep enough trouble.
Yeah.
And he's like, no special skill, just to believe that you can hurt someone with anything. And, well, let's just say he gets knocked out. So he wakes up.
Yeah, the Hugo looks in.
He wakes up, and and Kate's calling him through a payphone. And he's like, "Kate, you gotta go get me." He's like, "The girl's been kidnapped, blah, blah, blah." She's like, "There's a million cars." He's like, "How long have you been out?" He's like, 5-10 minutes. And she's like, "Might as well have been asleep 15 years. How are we going to find a single car?" He's like, "Well, they're heading." He put a tracking arrow in the car.
Of course.
So he's like, "Oh, come on, Kate." He's like putting his shoes on, getting his shoes. He's like doing the rushed walk of shame, I guess.
She's like, "Seriously, bro, like your abs." Or like, why are you undressed? And he's like, "Just drive."
Well, she lowers her sunglasses. She's like,
and because
she knew. And she's like, "Really? The abs and the." She's like, "Just
go,
go, just go full." And then so we get like a lot of more bros, and they're trying to they ram in. Kate and Clint catch up, ram in, and they get the Russian guys out of the car and use the putty arrows to stick them in putty. And then they take the red car and they start driving. And then now we're on worst idea number 3, by the way. We get to know the sonic arrow. While Kate is trying to make fun of him, And he's like, yeah, you got great taste in women. You know, she's in the backseat of her car. And Kate's like, ignore her. She's
yeah, no,
awesome.
that was a
Plug your
great little
ears.
quip like a page ago. And then when Kate rams into the car and she's like, this is a good metaphor for your love life. I'm like, yeah, well, shut up.
Yep. And then we get to know the explosive tip arrow, which basically like you shoot it and it like has that extra like boom, right? Like it's like and it's like a double pack grenade, right? Like it's actually like the pop, you know, like it hits and then it has like that extra jolt, so where it really like flies you off. You got the cable arrow, which we saw broke, allows him to do stuff, and then we have the smoke bomb, which is basically Batman dropping a smoke bomb, getting away. We know that all too well. Kate is still the getaway driver, and then we get the rocket arrow, which like the best arrow because it causes a big boom. And this 1970 car is just kicking it right now. We need the suction tip arrow, which Clinton uses to hang on to the car, right?
Yeah.
And then he's
so
like, "I'll
powerful.
be back." And then he's like, "I'll be back in a sec." Sec.
Oh yeah. He's like, "Oh no, sec. I meant sec."
He's like, "Back in a sec."
Yeah.
And then he's like, Clint Barton, you dummy. He's like, she's gonna think you're such a good. And I mean, they both probably already do.
They probably already do. So
right. The electro arrow, pretty self-explanatory. There's a shirt that my LCS owner has where it's just like all the different arrows. I know you guys have probably seen it before. I want one of those. So
it's so cool. Yeah, it's really good.
So anyway, like Clint flies off and he gets woken up to a gun pointing in the head. Guys goes like, hey bro.
Yeah.
And Kate is next to the girl, has the bow, and Kate has one arrow left. What arrow is it?
I love this so much.
Boomerang.
Because Clint's like, just let the arrow go. Trust me, you'll be fine. And she does, and it comes right back. Boomerang arrow.
And then he got like, big mistake, bro. You make me bad. and then it hits him in the head, and then he's like, see, always comes back. And then
speak on this real quick. Sorry. That whole arrow bit, like Fraction was great during this run at laying things out that seemed insignificant, but later came back to be major things, plot points. I really enjoyed that.
No, I did too. I think that's a really cool thing. I love this. This whole issue is probably at least the first beginning story arc is probably one of the best issues. Like it just shows so much about Clint and so much about Kate, and then the comedy in here is bar to none. Like it's
my god, it's such a funny book. I hope the show has like the same dialogue type things, but also part of me wants like a lot of the same quips, just not like copy and paste because like I've read it before.
Yeah. Its own style. It's got to fit in the MCU.
I want to see how they can use Clint Barton's character in the MCU with what they want for Kate and establish comedy through that, not like through this book being copy and pasted. Because obviously, like, I don't want that because I've read this book before, probably twice now.
Because Clint in the MCU is going to be definitely more of because he's not as much of a ladies' man kind of thing. You know,
family
he's
man.
Obviously not single in the MCU.
He's married, but he's also more hyper emotional.
Yeah,
he's not as laid back as Clint is in the comics. You know, like
correct.
Yeah.
No, he's more like I gotta drive for this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Not like a goddamn kind of thing. But anyway, in these few issues, we switch artists from David Aja to Javier Pulido, and Matt Hollingsworth has been doing the colors on this whole thing. I want to point out that Matt Hollingsworth is one of the best colorists, hands down, that comics has ever had to offer. Him and Dave Stewart, Alex and Claire are, if they're not your top three, you're just not doing it right. Who else is a good colorist that was classic? Hyphy was fine, I guess.
Well, I wouldn't say classic, but one of my favorites is Jose Villabarra. I probably butchered his name, but if you've ever read Fantastic Four 1, 2, 3 by Grant Morrison, Batman Year 100,
sure,
Paul Pope,
sure,
check him out.
Yep.
I digress. My bad.
I was like, nah, Link just dropping his knowledge out there. Link like things like,
no, please do. That's great. I love that stuff.
Link, I love when Link just like mic drops his knowledge. It's like it's the best thing ever. Because
we totally go silent. We're like, okay, what is it? Like, please continue. Like, this is great.
Like, yeah, like, bro.
I like
it.
That's good.
You had 5 minutes, bro.
Bro, seriously, bro.
And that's another shot.
Yeah,
so,
don't. Yeah, go on. Sorry, I was gonna say don't have a drinking game based off the bros. You'll get.
You're drunk after issue 3.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm in the hospital by 13 pages in the first issue, bro.
Exactly.
So anyway, you guys. So the fourth issue starts. We got Shield showing up, and they're helicarrier, and the Shield agents come on. They're like, we're taking you.
I love that, guys.
Yeah, he's like, God, and as he's being pulled up,
and he drops his beer, and we see Captain America and Maria Hill, and they're like, the tape, Clint. And now we don't really know what the tape is, right? Clint does. And this was like, it took me a few reads to get. The art change was very fitting. However, it just like, the art was fine. It did its purpose. It just wasn't David Aja.
I agree. Yeah. I completely agree.
Yeah.
It was fine. It just wasn't David Aja. Like, it didn't really distract me from the story. It was just like, okay, I don't prefer this, but we have to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I forget the newer artist. It feels very much like a very kind of classic 50s, 60s spy feel to it, which is exactly what the story is. So for the story itself, it definitely fits. But again, I agree, Brandon said, like, Aja just takes the cake for me for the rest of it. I would have loved to have seen him the rest of the time, but it fits. I'm not down. I'm not bashing the artist at all. I think it fits the story very well.
So there's a tape, right, that exposes an Avenger, Hawkeye, killing someone important for the U.S. government. That is no good because someone has a tape and is going to auction off the highest bidder, Madripoor. That tape gets out, links S.H.I.E.L.D., the U.S. government, and the Avengers to no good situations, especially because S.H.I.E.L.D. is trying to make a comeback after the events of Norman Osborn and Tony Stark, both being complete L's and directors of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yep.
So, Maria Hill is kind of playing like, you know what? Do my dirty work, please. So Hawkeye goes back, tells Kate, you know what? I'm leaving. You cannot come. Kate does not like that. Kate does not like that at all. So Hawkeye arrives in Madripoor, and he kind of understands the depth of the situation. Madripoor's Madripoor. He loses his wallet. He loses some stuff, loses his card. And then he gets to the hotel, gets to the casino, and he gets taken captive, and he gets unveiled with
Let me
Madame
speak on
Mask.
That scene in the casino real quick was brilliant just because Clint says something about standing out like a sore thumb, and he literally, the art panel is genius because you see this casino, everyone's in like these lavish tuxedos and dresses, and here Clint is in like this brown, gray, everyday, everyone's in like tuxedos and stuff.
Oh yeah, it's like that panel on the right side. Yeah. I see it now. I completely like overlooked that just now. But yeah, it's like little things about this book. It's like, oh, that's cute, or like that's cool. Yeah. Not cute, but it's
really.
Yeah, no, seriously. Yeah.
So Madame Mask, who I love Madame Mask, especially because like she is probably the most underutilized female villain on the face of the earth. I think like Viper's also another good candidate. I don't think we see after Secret Avengers, or not Secret Avengers, Secret Warriors, after the whole Madame Hydra thing. Like, I don't know. Marvel has not really brought back Hydra as like a whole thing, so you're not going to see Madame Hydra, of course. But I like her character. I enjoy her character. I enjoy Madame Mask.
Madame Mask. So it's such a, of course, character that can easily go into the MCU, I think, and they've not done anything with her. Like,
well, she was in Peggy Carter.
Peggy Carter, sure, but like
no one watched it.
What a
no one watched. No one cared. Be honest, Mike.
That's what I'm saying. It's like such a waste. Yeah. Like, you could have used that so easily. Put it into like the big screen.
Madame Mask. Madame Mask is a genius, you know, and I think that she's super slept on, and she uses that kind of sleepiness in her stories to like kind of weave, like, because the writers who are writing her know that okay, she's not the most powerful, but they'll use her to deceive and weave through everything, and I really like that. I think like Madame Mask. If Madame Mask was a big bad to like a season of, let's say, Falcon and Winter Soldier, I would be very content because I know that it's gonna build up to some like James Bond level stuff, like events, you know.
Agreed.
And I think her character is super slept on. She's a very patient character. Anyway, I'm done fanboying about my favorite female villain that I will probably simp over. But definitely check out Bendis's Invincible Iron Man for more Madame Mask. I think that was great.
Yes.
With David Marquez.
Yeah.
I read. You guys know I read. But
good.
So Madame Mask takes Clint's card and Clint says about, I know what y'all do, and I know that you guys are going to try to pull this tape from under me. I'm going to buy it. We are going to work together. So he wants Madame Mask to use his card. He even grants her this unlimited Shield credit card, which no interest rates, guys. No limits. Just constant billing and billing and billing. We see everyone from the previous issues that were at the hotel where Clint kind of took it over.
Big baddies, yeah.
Big baddies. We see them all. So we see the auction happening, and we see Madame Mask 1 billion, and she wins. So she gets the tape, and she watches it, but it's actually Kate Bishop disguising herself as Madame Mask.
Oh.
And what was great is it was so methodical because Kate Bishop was playing such a great Madame Mask role.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with seeing Madame Mask in lingerie tied up on the couch. I'm okay with it.
But no, granted, to your point though, like the way she is written throughout it, you don't think that that's Kate at all.
Exactly.
Like it's really good. Like it's really solid, and I like it.
I was like, damn. I was like, when I read it for the first time, I was like so convinced. I was like, why is Madame Mask working with her?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Dope.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, it's Kate. What? And Madame Mask is there. I'm like, Madame Mask is not done.
No,
she ain't done.
No.
I like how Madame Mask is tied up in nothing but like her bra underwear, but still a mask on. The mask is still on.
At least Kate
she's got to be decent, man. Like,
right.
At least Kate kept her identity hidden.
She respected that much, right? Yeah.
You know what I mean? And again, I'm all for the choice of outfit that she let her get away with. No complaints.
There it is.
Maybe we'll get it in the MCU.
I'll cross my fingers for you, B.
Pray for me. Oh wait, my earbuds just fell out. So we're on the 5th issue, and Hawkeye's jumping out a window because what else happens? Hawkeye just jumps out of things. Because he's Hawkeye, he can do it. He's like, "Yep, okay, this looks bad. Better than a couple
tied
seconds
up to a chair."
ago.
Yeah,
and he's jumping out of a window, or as my aunt would call it, a window.
Oh yeah, this is coming up on my. I love this thing coming up.
Yep. So he ends up like falling, I guess, or like he's like a couple seconds to go. He's fighting ninjas. He's like, damn it. And he jumps out. He flips. He's like, man, this does look bad. He's falling, right? And all of a sudden, like, so Kate's watching, and she's like, God damn. She sees Clint, who has told her that he's never like killed anyone before, but she sees him like murdering someone firsthand.
Tape,
These people are coming to Madame Mask, and they're like, don't disturb. And there was a disturbance, which was Clint escaping
out the window.
And then she's like,
so they busted the room.
A problem here or what? And all of a sudden you just see like Clint falling.
That's my favorite part. Like I could just picture that in a movie. She's like, oh, what are you guys doing? And then just
yeah.
Like, oh shit. It's like I gotta clean this up, boys.
So funny. This book is hilarious.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So he lands on this bike that Maria Hill is driving, kind of like
I wouldn't even know how to describe it.
Okay, it's like the Fantastic Car and Lola from Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. mixed together.
Yeah.
It's like a giant floating sled.
Yeah, yes. That's the best way to put it. Giant.
Or Magipore. I mean, I guess bobsledding is like.
It's a bobsled. It's a flying bobsled. Yeah.
Flying bobsleds.
Why Shield needs this? No idea, but they have it. So it's nice.
They're shielded. You know what it is? It's that limitless credit card that paid for it.
Deus Ex Machina. No.
You know what we need right now? We need the flying sled. Let's grab it, guys. It'd be perfect for this. We rarely use it.
Now, is there one bobsled for each alligator? God forbid. I'm like, is there just one bobsled? They're like, is it on this helicarrier or this one? Do we have to like FedEx this to this one or something? Do we have to overnight the bobsled to this helicarrier? Who knows? I'm like, okay, cool. But you know what? I don't even care because it's funny. It's fun. So Clint's still fighting and he like loses his shoes, but like this man's like still going hard. Madame Mask like wakes up and she kidnaps Kate. And then Kate, I guess, like she like Madame Mask gets back into the crowd. Kate ends up escaping. And because there's an arrow that Hawkeye shot that shattered the glass, and that was like her cue to leave.
I love that. Sorry, not to get there's.
Did I do a bit? Did he do a bit?
I think that was him this time. I think we're good.
So he'll come back later. But anyway, he'll pop.
This is a good scene, though. I'm curious to see what Steph says, but like this is a good scene too.
Yeah, I know. It's like he cut the commercial right at the good part.
I know. We're waiting on bated breath here.
Right? It's like a Super Bowl commercial. Lasts forever.
Am I back?
Yeah, you took a 30-second timeout. He's not back. But anyway.
Okay, anyways, yeah.
So we kicked out. So they come in together. He's like, "You ready, Hawkeye?" He's like, "Hell yeah."
You guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
What'd you like about the scene, bro?
What'd you like?
No, I thought I was doing a bit again, but no, like she thinks she's screwed, and it's just like Clint rising, and he's just kind of like, I don't think he said it, but I imagine him saying like, "Get down," and he just fires the arrow at the glass panel.
Theatrical, like it's
well, she saw it. She saw it coming, and then he's like, "Boom!" So they're like kicking the door down and everything, and they just like fight people, and they fight people, and they fight people, and they fight people, and then they fight Madame Mask. Mm-hmm. And I was like, that's dope. I'm like, I want to see this fight scene, please. Madame Mask ends up shooting Clint like right in the chest. But Madame Mask, like ultimate, she like, I respect y'all. Literally, that's like she like paid respect. Now Clint had like a body armor to him, but like it bruised.
Yeah.
So we really learned what's going on. The tape was a decoy to figure out who a mole was at S.H.I.E.L.D. selling out other like security tapes.
Right.
So they set up a false tape to see who was actually auctioning it off. And then Hawkeye was like, yeah, like we actually had to do it. I thought this was like the right thing to do.
Yeah, he's trying to help out, Clint likes to help.
Right.
He does.
That's the end of issue of the issue 5. And honestly, you guys, I love this book.
I love this book. No complaints over here, man.
No complaints over here. Usually we try to keep everything objective, point out the flaws, point out the good things, point out the bad things.
There are no flaws.
This book is honestly like, by far, it is like one of the most structured books. Like, it's one of the best written comic books. Like, if there's a reason why it's one of the awards it has. It is one of the best written, one of the best drawn. Like, and probably not the best drawn visually, but just the format is so engaging. Like, okay, you look at somebody who has more of a glamorous style to them, if you will. Let's say today's Pepe de Ross, or someone who's known, Jorge Jimenez. Make everything look so bombastic. You know what you're getting. This is very creative, and it tells the narrative in a way that only David Aja can tell. Only Matt Fraction. Matt Fraction is a very comical writer who's also talking about a very, very, very serious topic, which is everyday struggle.
Yeah, it's not a crazy layered story either. I feel like it's so relatable to like anyone that can read this book. Like, there's a lot of comics out there that, I mean, not layered isn't a bad thing. I think that's very, very good structure wise, but this comic doesn't need it. The story doesn't need it. It's very straightforward. It's very much what it is. And it tells something that needs to be told. So it's very engaging. I think it's really great.
Well said, brother.
What 100%, you guys. I wanted to do 1 through 12. I read 1 through like 12, but like the way that this trade collects everything is really weird. Go like from issue 7 to like it went from like issue 5 to issue 7, then it'll like go to like 17. Because in the way that it's read, I know the issue where Lucky was the spot. I believe that was issue 11.
Yeah, the
won best comic of the year of its release.
That was a great design issue.
That is a good issue. That's
it is. I want that issue. I really want that issue now.
Are we doing a part 2?
We might save it for when the season ends, depending on.
That would be good. Yeah, that'd be good.
Doing like a part 2 of this. This is a great book, you guys. I'm really excited. I absolutely adore this book. I adore what Mac Fraction has done. And I really regret buying the omnibus from my friend. If I really learned anything from this movie, I really regret buying it.
Your heart was
it was weird because I was at this place. It's no longer in business, but they are, but just not the location closest to me. It was Big Planet Comics. And they had they have like a every year omnibus sale. They had the Hawkeye one on sale for like $45 or something. They had the Wolverine Goes to Hell by Jason Aaron, and I was in like a Wolverine kick at the time. Like, that was a great book too.
Omnibus haven't been like super popular in a very long time. Like I remember having to beg people to buy omnibus. Like, I've been working in shops for a while. I had to beg people to buy them, and now they fly off the shelves, and I'm glad. I love them. I think they're phenomenal.
Thank you, Gem Mint. But anyway, no, like omnis are my main way to read books, like collected editions nowadays. Because like I want to build a library, and that's just how you do it.
This is how you do it. They look so good on the shelf,
man. This is how we do it.
If I wasn't addicted to collecting single issues, I would love more trades and hardcovers and stuff like that.
Right?
I would love it. They look better on your shelf. You can share the store if you want. I don't have to dig through my single issues every time I wanted to get something.
Right.
See, this is where my mentality comes in, and I know that Bryce, you haven't met Bryce, Michael, but Bryce has fallen down the same trap. Is like, we'll buy the single issue, then when we go to like review something or discuss it, we'll buy the trade, and I'm just like. Because I don't want to go through my long boxes. I don't want to freaking dig through everything. I'm like, I'm just gonna have it. That way I can like lend it to someone. I don't have to worry about anything being damaged.
Right.
Which is not really a big concern of mine because I'm not grading anything, but it's also like I want to keep it nice. Like I haven't bagged and boarded my stuff in like months, which is like a little depressing, which I might just pull an all-nighter or do it tonight.
Put those comics in sleeves and bags. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I know.
Bags and boards.
That's all right. I usually do use protection and stuff. That's what I say.
Wrap it up.
I mean, yeah, you got to, I guess. Yeah. But it's good. It's good. No, I never used to. I always used to just buy the single issues and just kind of like read it through there. But I've been running this graphic novel book club for like over 10 years now. And whenever we did it, I just bought the trade to go along with it to refresh myself. And that's all my trades. And I'm like, this is much easier.
Yeah.
Like I've been collecting single issues forever. And then all of a sudden, like, this is so much easier to reread. Whereas why didn't I do this before?
If you ever need some friends, Michael, for book club.
Sure. Yeah, we can definitely do that. We should do something. It'd be fun.
Exactly. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with this book. Like, damn. I mean, I picked the Wolverine one because it was bigger. I put up the money for my friend. He paid me back, but I was like, until he paid me back, I'm like, I'm just gonna hold on to it.
Which
so I read it.
Which Wolverine
the Hawkeye. One? Jason Aaron. Wolverine Goes to Hell.
Yeah.
With Ron Garney on art and Frank Cho.
Mm-hmm.
It's good stuff. I actually really, really enjoyed it. I mean, I ended up trading it to a buddy of mine.
It is good. Jason Aaron's a very talented writer.
Oh yeah, I love Jason.
Very talented. Like Marvel is so lucky that he's never left in so long. And
I think
they know that. I think they know that.
He's the only like A-list they have in their stable left, pretty much. Like Hickman's touch and go, but Jason Aaron's the only consistent.
I would say Al Ewing.
Well, yeah, but Al Ewing wasn't like Jason Aaron was here 10 years ago when they had Hickman, Fraxman, Remender, Bendis,
Dan Slott was still there. Dan Slott.
Yeah, Slott. Yeah.
Slott's been around forever though, and he wasn't necessarily one of those hit writers. That was my opinion.
But he was always still under the radar, bro. Like, go read a She-Hulk. Go read a She-Hulk, and you get a completely like new take of the character, right? Dan Slott writes New York very well, and I think as long as he stays in New York,
I enjoyed his Spidey.
Yes, I really enjoyed his Spider-Man run.
Of course, no, they do, and I definitely am not downplaying it, and I don't see Steph doing that either. But like Dan Slott, like they have a niche and they stick with it.
Am I doing a bit?
No, it's Michael.
Okay.
It's Michael. It's Michael. Yeah, it really is Michael. But I think that's it with you guys. Michael,
Mike's back. Yeah, he's back. Okay. You're back.
Am I? Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, whatever. It's fine. It is what it is. I was just saying that this is what comics are. I think Jason Aaron has a lot of range, is what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he does. Yeah, and his Avengers is not my favorite thing on the planet. That's okay because I enjoy pretty much damn near everything else that he's written.
Exactly.
Bastards, Sea of Stars. I have not read. What did he do? What was that Vertigo book he did?
Scalped.
I have not read
Scalped
that
is amazing.
Yeah.
Oh. I need to read Scalped. That's all my Jason
so
Aaron,
brutal. It's so good.
List. I think after I read Scalped, I've read like almost everything that guy's ever put out. His Wolverine's good. His Ghost Rider's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
His Thor God of Thunder.
Legendary.
But I don't think it's Conan, bro. It's Conan.
I know. He made me like Conan. It's crazy.
He's not really a team writer. I've realized that. Like even his Wolverine and the X-Men, I enjoy that more than his Avengers. Way more than his
Avengers. On art, bro. He had Chris Pachalo.
It's true.
You're not a Pachalo fan, I know.
No, I like Pachalo. I like older Pachalo, like 90s Pachalo.
I like Chris Pachalo. He's a very nice guy. Him and Tim Thompson.
No, I still like him. Let me rephrase that. My bad. I still enjoy him. I enjoyed his art.
Doctor Strange
wasn't as chaotic.
Sorry,
but it's still very good.
Doctor Strange is fantastic, you know. But back to this book, guys. I think we've pretty much hit on all cylinders about this. Any last thoughts?
I honestly wish I had something bad to say about this book. Not even bad. I wish I had a decent criticism for this book.
Right.
I don't. I think this book is great.
And I hate being that guy. It's like, guys, this book's perfect. Like I that just annoys me when people think that every book is perfect. They're gonna love everything about every single book, which I get it, right? We love comics. We're all here because we love comics, but there's a good and bad comic book.
For sure.
Right? There's a book that's absolutely amazing and a book that just absolutely sucks. But this book is absolutely perfect, and I have no complaints about this book. And I have
zero complaints.
I hate that I have no complaints about this book, other than the fact that David Aja really did not draw the other two issues. Jesus, no, but this had a really good James Bond feel. He's like, it's fun, it's light. Link, what about you? Any last words, bro?
No, bro. I don't think it's bad if someone likes a book all the time. They just they try to look at what they enjoy more so than being critical, and that's okay.
That's okay.
That's what we're here for, you know. Okay. But I think it's fantastic. If you haven't read it, definitely do yourself a favor and go read this. If you're getting jaded, if you're feeling jaded, thinking superhero comics all kind of do the same thing, go read this. This is a breath of fresh air. If you want to know more about the upcoming show Hawkeye, go read this. If you just like good reads, go read this. This is a phenomenal book, hands down. Like this, I want to be a little bit more critical, but this book, bro, is so.
I can't. I honestly can't, and I'm like, I'm like a little annoyed that like I can't be more critical. Anyway, guys, coming up on the channel, this is dropping Friday at 1:00. So that means we've already done Christ and Infinite Rants. Make sure you check that out. I know I recorded in the same hoodie. We recorded in the same clothes. We just went back to back. We just got, but I was like, I should have texted you like that. We should trade shirts, but we'll know that for next time. But make sure you check that out. We broke down Disney Plus and the Spider-Man trailer, all those announcements that came out recently. Had a good conversation about that. Again, that just dropped. That's usually live, but we had a Greg Hurwitz on the show. And look for us later tonight with Marv Wolfman on the show. And we have a lot more Creators Corner for you guys. Weekly wrap up every Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. That's one of our only live shows. And this has been rolling. I don't know. I think we're doing Young Justice next week. Yeah, I think we say we're doing Young Justice next week. So Peter David, Todd Knock, great stuff. Thank you guys so much for being here.
Thank you guys. This is always amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Always.